But Lions currently sit as the 1 seed in the NFC. Again, ton of football to be played. Still got 11 games to go. And we said we'd start at the end. And we all knew eventually there would be a pressured Jake Bates field goal. We all knew eventually that this guy who was, been working extremely hard. We've been out there at practice, tons of kicks, first guy out. Sometimes I saw he was the last guy off, but there was a lot of just work being put in to what appeared to be the thing with Jake Bates was absolute, he could nuke it. He could be good out to 60. We saw it in the UFL. But it was accuracy. Can he dial it in? Can he be accurate?
Right, because this is all new to him, basically.
Yep, and can he handle the stage? Like, that's another big part of this is can you handle the stage? Part. And they put faith in their guy. When they started taking a knee and saying, we're going to play for the field goal, it wasn't like the shortest field goal ever, but it's totally makeable by an NFL kicker.
Sure it is, but it's beyond the distance that you see for an extra point, and for an extra point, you see plenty of kickers missing extra points. You still had that feeling inside, like I don't know, I trust this.
Yeah, but they trusted it.
Yeah,
and that's what matters.
That's why you have a
most.
kicker.
Yep.
I mean, you have to trust your kicker on your roster to drill it from inside of 50, and when you get beyond 50, it's less of a certainty. They did? But today's NFL, it seems like it's almost a certainty now. Anything inside of 55,
they treated that situation like they had faith in their kicker.
Yes, they
did. Treated that situation like they had, peak Mason Crosby or somebody. Like they had a guy that they knew would make that kick. That's how they treated this situation. Okay, we got all the yardage we need. We made it down to the 26. We're a 44-yard field goal. We know our guy's going to make it. That's how they treated it. And until you see him in that situation, look, they acted like they knew they had enough. And certainly it's not about the distance. But the further out you are, the less angle, you have to be more perfect. The further flight of the ball, if it's off by a couple of degrees one way or the other, it's going to sail wide. So, the further the ball has to travel, the greater chance for him to miss right or left. The distance isn't the issue. It was and it's the pressure. Like that's
a pressure kick.
That's not a gimme kick. By any stretch of the imagination.
On the road, hostile environment for the win.
There's perfect conditions, but you expect a good NFL kicker to make that kick. And as we felt our way through the situation and navigated it, Jake Bates came through, and the Lions acted as if they had their guy. And based upon this, it looks like they might. I mean, he's been great. And some of the extra points, you're like, was that good? He's had more than a few extra points where they have been sailing, and mostly it seems like wide right, but they sneak through the upright. He just tucks it right inside the upright, and it's good. And I'm sure his plan is to go right down the middle on every kick.
But it feels like on some of these kicks, it's about velocity more than anything else. So if I kick it hard enough and fast enough, the distance isn't going to catch up to me because the ball's just going to shoot through the uprights before it has a chance to go squirrely.
Yep.
But he's been money. He's been absolute money this year. Was he 10 for 10 now with field goals on the season?
Yep.
I think he missed one extra point maybe.
Yep.
But he's been fantastic. And what a situation we put into to test your mettle.
Now, hysterically, I just did something I've done all the time, and it's the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee. They play Tennessee this weekend, not Houston. They have Houston in a couple of weeks. I still make that mistake, but it's kind of like the Houston Astros being in the American League. There's some things I'm never getting used to, but sorry, they don't play the Texans for a couple of weeks, but that will be a big game.
It will be a big game
when they get there, but they'll put the cart in front of the horse. They got Tennessee this weekend at home at 1:00. But anyway, back to the Bates thing. Like it's a big kick for the game, but it's also a big kick for the season. Like the next time he's out there, he'll know he can do it. And, there's short-term prognosis and there's long-term prognosis. And there's short-term solutions, but there's long-term solutions. I feel better about Jake Bates today. And I think all of Detroit feels better about Jake Bates today. And he got a game ball, and he was up there in front of the team. And I always think it's weird for kickers because they're just cut from a different cloth. They're not the same. They're not anywhere close to what the rest of the team, their job is, what they do, what they look like. And he got up there and he said, hey, man, thank you for the opportunity, and great job by the offense to get it down there, and the whole snap spot operation. Like, he thanked everybody in the locker room. But that's a big moment for Jake Bates. And that's a big moment for this Lions season, is to have him come through with a pressure kick.
Yeah, no, it was big. Glad to see it. I had a knot in my stomach watching the game in the last 5 minutes of the game, and please, God, get the ball back, get an opportunity to win. But it was interesting watching how Goff handled things. He really did have this.
Can I make one final point on Bates?
Yeah.
He had a great quote afterwards, and it just made me laugh. He said, 18 months ago, I was selling bricks in Houston. I'm just like...
Got to make a living.